So, no one knew the burden. We continue. The last time we finished when Margaret was shocked to see Penna. "Hello, Penna. I haven't seen you in a long time. 2 weeks. I thought you had left campus," Margaret said, approaching Penna. "Well, Margaret, sorry, I did not communicate to anyone, but I had some family challenges and now I am back." They talked for a while, with Margaret sympathizing with her. "Anyway, I have decided to go out for a Valentine's dinner. Alan invited me. By the way, soon you'll receive an invitation card." "Invitation card?" Margaret asked curiously. "Yes, don't worry. I shall let you know at the right time," responded Penna, her face brightening up as she took Alan's hands. All along, Alan seemed to be communicating something non-verbally. When it proved unsuccessful, he looked at Penna and said, "Penna, I've changed my mind. I don't think I want to go for the dinner after all." "What?" Penna shouted. "I shall explain later," Alan said, and then hurriedly walked away. Penna shrugged him away, telling Margaret that one of her fears was that Alan was such a temperamental person. The two ladies talked for a while, then each retired to her room. When Margaret came back to the room, she thanked her God for saving her, albeit the pain she was feeling. She wondered what kind of a man Alan was. Alan never pursued her again. She spent most of her time reading, and the little money she got, she used to support her siblings. Finally, after 7 years, Margaret graduated with honors in a colorful ceremony. Her family was all present to celebrate her. Right in their midst was her grandfather. He gave her a cow for a present later on. A month after her graduation as a doctor, she got a job at Narok's Women's Hospital, where her work was awarded for its excellence. The way she related with the patients endeared her to them. One day, in her course of duty, she met a young girl who had been hurt in a brawl at home. Her father had thrown a stool at her and broken her hand. While in hospital, the girl got to share with Dr. Kai Margaret about the challenges she faced in school. Finally, the young girl, looking at her with open admiration, said, "Doctor, I wish you were a teacher. Many students would love your classes. You are such an encouragement to me. I am now ready to go back to school and conquer my mountains." Right there, the desire to help young people grew strong in her. She decided that she'd get a job that allowed her to treat students in a school setting. Soon, one school, the Leader High School, was looking for a doctor to employ in their newly built hospital that would help serve both the community around the school and would also take care of the girls in the school. That is how Dr. Kai ended up in a school setting. She always had a liking for English. In her free time, she would read set texts and share her knowledge with the teacher of English. In turn, the teacher invited her to her class a few times as a resource person. Soon, the girls referred to her as teacher of English, and that is how she ended up meeting Riziki in class. The girls loved her. Most of Dr. Kai's colleagues could not understand why she did not want to head a big hospital. Her response was, "You only live once. You had better serve your purpose while on this earth." Dr. Kai noticed that there was something peculiar about Riziki as soon as she saw her during admission in Form 1. She took a liking to her after the lessons. That was why one day, during a literature discussion, when Riziki broke down in class, Dr. Kai requested the regular teacher to allow her to take her aside to inquire what the matter was. She gave her all the time to weep and share her troubles. It ended up that Riziki requested the children's home where she lived to allow her to spend the rest of the holiday with her in her house. After carrying out due diligence, the home agreed to let her go. It did not take long for Riziki to start building her trust in people and also her trust in God. By the time she reached Form 3, she was appointed the school captain like her mentor, Dr. Kai, the most efficient one the school had ever had. By Form 4, her performance in all areas was excellent. By the time she was sitting for her national exams, Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education, she already had a scholarship awaiting. In those days, the examination results were announced by the Minister of Education around February 26th every year. That day, Riziki sat close to the television so as not to miss any pronouncement. The top student this year with a score of 86 points, that is grade A, is, the minister had started saying. Unfortunately, there was a power outage and the television went off. Riziki almost kicked it. She got angry and knocked the table hard, almost dislocating her wrist. At that moment, the door flew open and Dr. Kai came in and gave her a hug. Before she could compose herself, a few teachers were at the door calling out her name. Riziki came out and in the twinkling of an eye found herself carried on the shoulders of the teachers. They were taking her to the school. They arrived at the same time as the press. Cameras clicked in front of her and videos rolled. All they wanted to know was her secret to the great achievement. She revealed that focus, hard work, prayers, and mentorships were her secrets. For the whole of that month, she was in cloud 9. The following day after the results were announced, Miss Dr. Kai organized a party for her. She invited a few children from the children's home that had looked after her all those years. She was very apprehensive though. The celebration went late into the night as they recalled Riziki's 4 years in school. Interestingly, throughout her time in school, no one got to know her as Becha. Meanwhile, the day the results were released, Joanne kept thinking that her daughter would be receiving her results that year. She had put a television set in her eatery and was busy watching. The news at 1 o'clock came on. She sat up straight and was waiting. Mama, please bring us 2 cold sodas. Na kama kawaida, the usual, a man shouted from among the customers. To Joanne, the customers always came first. So she rushed to the kitchen to tell the waiter to bring the order. By the time she came back, the anchor had moved on to other news items. She had the customer talking about a beautiful girl who had topped the exam in the nation. She wondered if only it could have been Becha. Then she sat to watch the rest of the news. Chapter 5. Bahati Riziki was an outgoing personality. Her vibrancy and enthusiasm was always felt by those around her. While in campus, she always questioned the happenings around her. One time, a visiting speaker came to present a lecture in the college amphitheater.